I just took a chance and went for it. I was 18 years old at the time, didn't have a lot of direction with my life in terms of what I wanted to do. All I knew is I wanted to be an elite athlete, and
Yeah.
I was going to give it a shot. And if it didn't work out, I could go back to school. And then about into my career, about four tournaments in my career, I tore my ACL in Vegas, and
Yeah.
that really kind of set me back down to realize that it goes away very, very quickly, and
Yeah.
you never really know. You really never know when the last game or the last cut is, or the last moment of your career. So after that, in the beginning of 2017, I got back into school, and I'm about a year and a bit away from graduating with a degree. So it's good as well because it keeps me busy when we're on tour. So it's all my schooling is all online. So when we go on tour, I'm doing my schoolwork during the week, and then when the weekend comes around, it goes to the side, obviously, for the tournament time. And um, but yeah, so I'll have a degree here soon. I guess to kind of go off what you were saying earlier, I am very interested in becoming a firefighter. Um, so that's kind of my career path that I'm looking at. I'm hopefully going to be taking an EMT certification course later this year so that I can begin to, fulfill the clinical hours and all of that. And I'm sure you heard about the California fires from the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've heard about them down there.
We definitely saw it on the news and things like that. So it's quite hectic, and I think they definitely need some hands and some fast people to those flames. But you're going to cause more flames just by running, so you just have to make sure that you
Yeah,
speed.
I'll just make sure the hose is spraying behind me as I go.
Yeah, no,
But yeah, so that was my hometown was one of those big fires, and my high school is the one that burned down. And so part of that was really I really wanted to help during that time. And but there was really nothing I could do. Only the firefighters could help. And so I had a bit of an idea before that, but that kind of solidified what I wanted to do post rugby and how kind of the lifestyle that I wanted to live. It is very similar to being in a team sport. I mean, you physically have to be at your best. You're working with a group of guys for all the same common goals, and in the end, you do have games. You got to fight fires and high pressure situations, and I think that's a lifestyle that I'd really like.
yeah, definitely. Because I can remember when I just stopped as well. All of a sudden, you think, okay, you're going to stay in touch with the boys. They're going to contact you back and things like that. But then all of a sudden, you actually find yourself in a space, well, you're not around them 24/7 almost every day. And you're kind of, okay, well, shucks, this feels so weird. I miss that environment of being around the players and mates as well. So I think the main thing as well, what I want to do is to trying to create a community of players, even though after rugby they can support one another, still stay in touch, have like get-togethers, have a barbecue. This side in South Africa we call them braais. I think
Yep.
it's much better than the bob. But yeah, so
Hey, they're both good in their own right, but you guys do the biltong down there. That's a different level.
I'll have to come through that side, and then you can teach me how to barbecue, and I'll bring the bolt on.
Yep. Hey, fair enough. That's a good trade.
Yeah, 100%, man. But yeah, so that's really awesome to hear, man. And the thing is, what I've also noticed is studies is very important and going to school. What would your advice be for rugby players who are studying? Because I know, especially in South Africa, there's some of the guys who study as well, but they feel, okay, well, rugby is still more important, which it is very important, but it's like they kind of give up on the studies. What keeps you
Yeah.
focused on still putting in the hours in the books and making sure that you're getting the quality knowledge for life after rugby as well?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, it goes back to a bit what we've been talking about already. I mean, it comes so fast, and that's what like really motivated me in the beginning of my getting back into studies and motivates me now is I mean, I've been an athlete now and playing professional sports for 7 years, and in the background, I've had different uh, career paths that I thought that I might be interested in. So just giving yourself options, and it sounds so basic, but as a rugby player, I mean, especially with the way rugby is now, there's so much turnover through
Yeah.
through teams, and it's just necessary to have something in the background. For me, the schooling also gives me discipline. When I'm on tour, I got to be disciplined between training during the day, making sure that my studies are done, and then making sure I'm in the right mental place come the weekend. Um, it's taught me quite a bit around that, and just making sure that I'm disciplined myself with my time. I think studying while you're in a career, it forces you to hunker down and really manage your time better. Um, and it forces you to kind of think about what you want to do next. If you're not going to school and you're not learning about anything, forced or not, then you're just not getting into those avenues that could, maybe you read something in a book that can open up your mind into what you want to do next a little
Yeah.
bit more. And when the 3 years that I was away from school, I didn't do any of that, and I regret it majorly now. I wish I would have continued my schooling as soon as I left San Diego State. I wish I would have just gone straight into the online, because I miss.
I think probably across the world, is especially when rugby players, when they get the name for themselves, a lot of them, they aren't educated, so they don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to do things themselves. So a lot of other people would say, like, listen, let me help you invest your money. Let me help you start a business. So they just leverage of the rugby players' names, and which is, they can make money through it. But I want to encourage the rugby players to say, guys, go do it yourself. Learn how to work with finances. Learn how
Mhm.
to start your own business. Run everything yourself. And I think like Carl and Sissel and them, just really pushing into that coffee business is phenomenal, man. I think for them putting heads together, you can see they are in control of what they are doing. So yeah, man, I think they must just definitely learn from guys like that. And I know like Court Norsko's son as well. He's doing very well with the t-shirts. So there's quite a few rugby players coming up with some awesome ideas. So yeah, bro. Looking at your career as well, which has been the top, the most best highlight there for you at the top?
It's I answered this question last week in an interview, and it's the same. It's the win in Vegas last season. Winning on the home ground is there's nothing like it. It was my first tournament win with the USA team,
Yeah,
and what I was saying earlier is I tore my ACL on that field 6 years before. So
sure.
it was my kind of it was like my final like revenge on the situation that was before, and getting over that mental hump and everything of not winning a final. And so that was the most memorable moment of my career, definitely.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, when I look at you guys as a USA Sevens team, from where you guys started until where you now, I mean, you guys have grown on another level, and I think it's just gonna get better and better and better. It's like you guys don't rest, or you always advancing, looking at new ways of growing. But yeah, and looking at the team, like it's a very healthy environment as well. I think you can see every single player is gelling with one another on the pitch, and that just shows great relationship with one another. How important is it for you guys as a team to have that quality relationship with one another off the pitch as well? Because I think trust on a field is very important, and it goes further than just training with one another.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's one of the most underrated values of a team, is how close and connected they are. The South African boys are kind of the cookie cutter. I mean, they are the success that they had over the last several seasons has been a lot because of that, and that's where a lot of our success has come as well. And it really started. It started with our coach when Mike Friday came in. He just changed our culture. He changed how we interacted with each other. And then he gave us basically all the tools that we needed to do to take it offline, away from the field, and continue growing those relationships. Because, like you said, it's trust is so important, and a lot of it's subconscious. You don't
Mm.
have time in a sevens game and to think about anything really other than what's going on in front of you, and just having that locked into your mind that everybody around me is on the same page and we're all willing to do the same thing and go the same distance for each other, it no matter what anybody says, it gets a little bit more out of you. Like you just said, it's so critically important, and that's I think why we made the jump from what was it, the 2018 or 17-18 season to then last season where we finished second. Is our trust levels were at all-time high, and our belief in each other, which is
Yeah.
the other point, was just fizzing all the time. And I think that's the belief in each other is extremely important too, because in rugby and in sevens especially, there's a lot of mistakes going on. It's just the nature of the game, and the ability to bounce back from those mistakes, no matter who made it, is really in sevens what can win or lose games because of how tight they are. So just understanding that everyone's going to make mistakes and trusting that everyone's mentally and physically in the place to perform at their best
Yeah.
is so important to the core of a team.
Yeah, and that's crazy, especially with the sevens as well. The type of fitness, it's something else. And like you say, you don't get time to think about anything else because sometimes you just think, where's the next breath going to come? Is my legs going to make it the next 50 meters?
Exactly.
Still need
Someone
to,
please score soon so I can breathe.
yeah, and you still need to cover on sweeper. You need to make a cross defense tackle. All of a sudden, you got the ball. You need to start right, and it's just that fast pace is quite hectic. And
Yeah.
thinking at fast pace as well. I mean, a lot of things are just happening quite fast in life as well. And I must say something, when you look at the lockdown, it actually gives one another time to just stop and think and just reflect on your personal life. And yeah, I've seen on the news it's quite hectic, how you guys are affected that side in USA, but I really trust that things will calm down a bit and things will become better. But how are you handling the whole outbreak and the lockdown? How are you staying strong mentally and training as well?
Um, I think the mental part's the toughest part. You know, we just talked about how important it is to be around each other as a team, and all of us in the United States, we've all moved to San Diego for the national team. We've all left family, and we've all come to the same place for one goal. And not being able, so we've kind of become that second family. You know, we're with each other every day. We travel how many? I can't even tell you how many days a year we're on planes and on in hotels with each other. But it's been really tough over the past month and a half not having those same connections. So I live with two of the other boys on our squad. So I've been able to stay a bit sane with them. I'm not alone in my house or anything. So, but I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough for everybody. It's not just us. I mean, to be honest, we're in a much better situation than a lot of people who are unemployed in the United States are right now. And that's only growing. So, although it's tough mentally, you also have to think about perspective and realize that we're taken care of. We play a game for our careers, and our
Yeah.
livelihoods aren't threatened to the point of not being able to put food on the table for the family. So it's tough, but it's doable. In terms of a physical standpoint, that's been a bit of a challenge, but it's also given us it's given us a reason to do different kind of training. So like I wouldn't usually ever go for like a long distance run, and maybe a couple weeks now I'd go for like a long distance 45-minute run. And we have like a lot of resistance bands at our house and stuff, so trying to use those to the best of the abilities. But it's tough. I mean, you just kind of make do with what you can, but a lot of people work out with nothing, so we've kind of just gotten back to the roots.
And no, definitely, I must say, there's a lot of people being creative. I'm quite one of them. I actually took a cooler box and I filled it up with water. So doing different kind of movements with that
Yep.
is quite interesting and fun. So, and yeah, I still need to get
Yeah.
and shift on that long distance run. I'm not a big big fan of them, but I think it's good to cut off the unnecessary fat. Eh?
Yeah. Well, so what position did you play?
So I played flank most of the time, and my first year I was at the University of Johannesburg, and under 19 Lions. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Lions Rugby Union.
Yeah, yeah, yep,
Yeah. So from there, I played flank, and then they moved me to center. So I played a season at center, and but I think it was the sevens also gave me a lot of skill. We had an awesome coach who taught me from the age of 16. Was really privileged to coach, get taught by him. There was actually one of the players, Chocky, that's also on the call. So he made a comment. Also a phenomenal player, and playing with guys like that was really awesome. So yeah, I was a bit. Then I went down to Durban, was a bit there at the Sharks. So then I went to East London at Border Bulldogs, and then I went to Ireland to go play at Mallow Lions. And then yeah, so it was really awesome. But yeah, most of the times I played flank, and quite a fun position. Love stealing balls and tackling the flyers.
yeah. Hey, fair enough. That's all. That's always fun. I'm just a little bit too small for that world.
Yeah, but if you look at guys like Michael Hooper, I mean that guy, he's just on another. I don't know how
Yeah,
he did it, but every time I feel bad for his eyes though. They're always swollen up. He looks like a Chinese or Japanese guy
hey,
coming out of
that
the.
that guy punches way above his weight. I don't know how he throws it with the big boys the way he does, but there's a yeah. If you play with that kind of high energy, you're bound to get in a few good collisions.
Yeah, definitely. So, what is your ritual that you have? I think every rugby player has their left sock, right sock first on
Yeah,
kind of routine, and it's quite
yeah.
interesting. Do you have any funny routine, or is it just a plain and simple one?
I mean, I'm very I'm losing the word right now. But I do the same thing every single time. I listen to the same songs, like the same like four or five songs. If it's working, we keep it going, keep the songs rolling. I'm trying to think of if there's anything like quirky that I do. I put my left boot on before my right one, and then I put them both on before I tie them. I what else do I do? Trying to think of anything else. Nothing else really too crazy. I mean, when we get out to the warm up field, I do like the same couple warm up drills before we get going. I'll like sit in the same spot of the locker room all the time. So like even when we go back places, like when we go back to South Africa next time we play down there, like if we have the same locker room, I'm sitting in the exact same spot as I did last year, kind of thing. So it kind of goes with everything. To be honest, I'm pretty bad with that kind of stuff. I like to keep. I'm a creature of habit, very much so. Um, but no, nothing too crazy. But I do have those little niches.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. We had this one guy. He would wear the same underpants every single game. I think he had the underpants like for 3 years. That underpants started to have holes in it, but he would still wear it. I'm like, geez, guy,
Yeah.
can't you just
Every-
like no, luck is gone. Luckily, he was a great player, so man, that's at least he washed it. So I think you have to give him credit
yeah.
for that. And yeah, so but just on what you were saying as well, I think when you, especially preparing for your game, doing the same things, making sure you get into that mindset. And I actually want to encourage every single viewer. Um, we did it a lot as well as a team to visualize. So even
Yeah.
go through routines. If you want to achieve success, go through it in your mind. Even though you haven't been there yet, you can role play every single move in your head to get
Hmm.
closer to success for every single rugby player as well. Make sure you do those kind of visualizations. You can do with teammates as well. See yourself scoring tries, see yourself getting fit and all those kind of things. You can't actually believe how powerful those kind of things and those exercises are. But yo, man, so this is the last part of the interview. This is where every
Can I
single.
just say something on that visualization point for
Yeah,
real
sure,
quick?
of course, man.
Uh,
Yeah,
I think I think the point you just made is really good. In order to succeed in sevens or in the 15s world, I don't think it matters now. But in order to succeed at the highest potential that you have personally, I think preparation is everything. You have to be prepared front to back on everything that you're doing out there on the field, and a lot of that preparation is visualization. Okay, if
yeah,
I'm set up here on kickoff and it goes away from me, what am I doing? If I'm set up here on kickoff and it comes to me, what am I doing? And it goes with every set piece. And then and then you layer in the teams and the scouting that you're doing, and a lot of that is the visualization, just seeing phases work out in your head, seeing breakdowns and hitting them in your head. And I think I think you're hugely at a huge disadvantage if you're not visualizing often, and not just on game days. It wouldn't just be if you for 5 minutes before you go to bed, visualize what tomorrow's training and what you want a goal of tomorrow's training that you might have in your head. I try and do that here and there, and create kind of like a prep for the next day by visualizing. So, yeah, I think that point is great. I'm glad you brought it up.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah. And especially if you're walking inside the mall, step the people, even though they're not rugby players, just look, okay, I'm going to step and run this game,
Mm.
thinking about the game. Because another thing as well, when we played in the Curry Cup final 2012, no, sorry, 2011, what the last week or 2 weeks basically of the preparation, what we did was we just had visualization sessions. Every single player would sit there with their eyes closed. The coach would say, okay, we have a kickoff, and let's say Dale would catch the ball. What do you do next, or what does he do? And it's crazy how you put everything into picture in your mind. And when you get on the field, you just so your brain is enlightened. It's like crazy. You're
Hmm.
just so aware of what's going around you, where to be on the pitch, and yeah,
And
man.
then you
So
kind of
just
get
thank you
into
for
that
sharing your
like
points. Uh,
autopilot.
yeah,
Oops, sorry. Sorry I interrupt you. But you get like you were saying, like when you visualize and stuff, and then when you get into the game, you get into that kind of sort of like autopilot where your body, your mind's not no longer thinking, your body is just working because you prepared for that exact situation.
definitely. And the thing is, with
Oh, did I lose him?
those visualization sessions as well. You can you hear me,
Uh,
Stephen? Can you hear me, brother?
oh, I lost you there for a second. Go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
yeah. So the awesome thing is with those sessions as well is bad things do happen in a game as well. So in that visualization, you actually notice, okay, well, I have to go in with the left shoulder. I need to protect the ball. I need to step on this foot. When I score a try, I need to, if a player is coming to switch the ball, whatever the case might be, it's like you're already aware of the negative things that can happen before it even happens.
Mm,
So it's just crazy how you become unconsciously competent. It just happens. You don't even realize it.
yeah.
And start watching footage of yourself.
See there again. Are we okay? I might have lost you there.
Someone tried to call me. No worries.
No, you're fine.
Okay, cool. No, 100%. So, but yeah, bro, this is the last part of the show where I ask every single guy just to sing a short song, your favorite song. It doesn't
Ooh.
matter. No, just joking, bro. You don't have to
I
let me sing.
I was gonna do it too. I just had to think of the right one.
I should have. No,
I'll do one. I feel like oh, what's that song? Oh baby, you got what I need. I guess I should get my little pup in here. And you say he's just a friend.
that's
uh,
awesome. No, that's great. Great to have some laughs in this time as well. And
yeah,
yeah, so
exactly.
what, just for coming to the end of the interview, a short message of encouragement for every single person out there having personal struggles, even don't worry even about the COVID-19, just having whatever struggle.
I think it's important. Self-belief is so important in a day and age like this. If you don't believe in yourself and you're not confident in your abilities to go out and do something, then no one else, why would anyone else follow you and have that same kind of confidence in you? So I think whether there's going to be times in life where people tell you that you're wrong and that you can't do stuff and that you're not doing it at a level that you can, or whatever it is, but if there's a level of self-belief, a high level of self-belief and self-confidence, then it doesn't matter what the outside world and what's going on around you, because you know kind of the walls in which you're operating, and you know what you're made of. So I think that's really important, and that's been a huge thing for me in my development when I was younger, and kind of the reason why I was able to come back through a couple knee injuries um, and stuff is just I continued to believe, and it wasn't an option for me to back down. I had to overcome the personal tribulations, and then I never really, to be honest, I never really thought it would get to this point and be as good as it has been. But it all started with just that simple belief that I could get back to a point where I could play again. So I think
Yeah.
that's important.
No, definitely. And as you said that, one thing that actually came up is that movie Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith in it, where the
Hmm.
kid, where he tells the kid like, listen, yeah, you can't dream of becoming a basketball player. And eventually he draws his kid closer and he says, don't even like, if you have a dream, go chase it. Doesn't matter if your father or whoever tells you you can't do it. It's all about that belief in yourself, because one negative word
Yeah.
can really throw you out the game. So I want to encourage all the viewers, if you have dreams, if you have passions, just really go and pursue it. I mean, we have one life to live. And I mean, no one can take that away
Hmm.
from you. Just believe in yourself. As Stephen has said, keep on pushing, keep on grinding. So, yeah, for every single viewer out there, if you're struggling with something, you're more than welcome to send me a DM. I'll chat with you. We can get connected and things like that. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Make sure you follow Steven and look at his crazy runs on YouTube where he just is like a hot knife through butter. So, man, I really
Hey,
want to honor you.
it's called running
And
scared.
man, I want that truth. Nitro's on. But
Yeah. Hey, to go back to your point, if anyone needs anything, they're more than welcome to reach out to me as well on Instagram or Twitter or whatever the vehicle is. I try and be good with replying to as much as I can. So if anyone has questions, they're more than welcome to reach out to me as well.
awesome. Thanks a lot for that, brother. And yeah, much blessings for yourself that side and for your family and for the entire USA Sevens team. And actually the entire rugby world there in USA. You guys must be safe. And yeah, good luck that side. I'm going to hit the bed now and you're just going to start your day. So you must enjoy it.
Hey, thank you.
And yeah, man, much blessings for.
Thanks for having me on. Are you in Cape Town?
No, I'm in Middleburg at the moment, but I'm actually
Okay.
from, yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe next time